Well, at least it wasn't snowing. But it wasn't exactly pleasant either. This wind, well, I really feel for this mama owl. It was pretty nasty. And just as nasty for this mama goose. But at least that avocet was smart enough to duck in out of the wind behind her nest. Down at Pine Coulee Reservoir, the waves were just tearing up the shoreline. This loon couldn't have cared less, just kind of floated along with it. This poor harrier, well, was not making much headway against that wind. Sharp-tailed grouse? I don't really think anything bothers a sharp-tailed grouse. Yes, it was a particularly nasty day. Terrible weather. But you know, bad weather has its charms, too. The rain especially brings out the colors and the contours and all the interesting things in cottonwood trees. This is kind of weird, but cool. And the soft light really helps with those subtle colors. The greens especially really shine in light like this. And with the wetness, everything looks nice and clean. Lichens, so green. And all the colors on that bark. In light like this, and wet from the rain, those colors just really glow. The browns look lovely, with those new little leaf buds. And because cottonwood trees are big and thick, they don't whip around in the wind very much, which makes things a little nicer. The buffalo beans are blooming too. Things weren't quite as colorful down along the creek, and in fact with that wind blowing the camera around, I was having kind of a rough time getting any pictures of it. Not quite as rough as this partridge had it though. It actually blew sideways. The glacial erratics weren't blowing around. They've been sitting there for 12,000 years. They're not going anywhere. But it's a wonder this poor goose could stick to her nest. This little gopher was pretty sheltered down in that new green, and lots to eat, too. But the waves on Pine Coulee Reservoir were relentless. Although there were charms to be found among them for these ducks. They just rode the swells and chomped on anything the waves churned up. Yeah, I guess you could say it was sort of a charming day. Although as the wind kept howling and the rain kept falling, those charms were fewer and farther between. So yeah, every kind of weather has its charms, but one of these days I'd like to see what the charms are of a nice day.